personally, I was still serving my national service, so I was requested to report back to camp. When I first heard about it, kind of shocked at first that there's such a huge calamity that actually can befall the world, not just individual nations, but it affected the whole world. So I think it was one of the defining moments in a person's life, I guess.
I think I was in Sri Lanka, in a resort of Colombo.
I was on the late night shift, and I was on desk with another supervising editor.
I was home with my family. It's the day after Christmas, so I was in Trumbull, Connecticut, probably just celebrating the holiday season on vacation.
I remember the first news coming in, I mean, just a very brief one-paragraph report from the wires saying it happened off, I think the Sumatra, West Sumatra.
I heard like a lot of commotion behind me, and I wasn't really sure what was going on, so I just kind of ignored it, and I turned around, and then I saw a bunch of fishermen pulling their boats up to shore.
And I remember the magnitude was quite high, and but because there wasn't a lot of details, and we didn't really appreciate the full scale of earthquake.
Then I just continued until I saw like the guy next to me. I think he was Sri Lankan. Like he was quite dark, but he spoke quite like fluently. And he said, "Oh, he might want to get out of there." He was on the other side of the fence. And then I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I was trying to look at my sandals, and then I suddenly saw the sandals pushed my sandals against and I saw one of my mom's friends, and she pulled me up. So we went up to the top floor, which is the fourth floor. And then I remember I got to my room and I like sat down and I couldn't stop crying. But I didn't know why. The thing is, like, I didn't know why I was crying because I didn't understand the severity of it. But I was just like scared. So I remember just sitting there, and then I looked out, and then the entire garden of because the resort was a platform where people had lunch, and then a garden, and then the beach. But the beach part was fenced up, and there was a small gateway like this. And I remember looking at it, and everything was gone. I couldn't see anything anymore. It was just like mud and water.
At the point, I think, from the pictures that we see, from the desk, it was something that really shocked me. Yeah.
The first memory I have, the first recollection, was the news reports blowing up on the TV, the camera footage of the water rushing into the shore, and simultaneously the internet kind of just blew up with all the news from the reports everywhere around the world.
We called him the squirrel guy. He was this man, a hotel guest, him and his wife were vacationing, and his wife was swimming. And his wife actually got swept out, and during every aftershock, she would get thrown back in, close enough to almost grab the rope that they had that they had thrown to her, but then get pulled out again. And this went on for like hours and hours, and until she finally swept downstream. And when we left, I remember thinking, the squirrel guy is not here. So like, we don't know what happened to his wife, we don't know what happened to him. Like,
that time I was still quite a young reporter. I was just less than 2 years into the job. I think for us, there wasn't anything to compare with, and to be honest, we were not personally I was not mentally prepared to see something as serious as that, and I don't really know what to think about it.
But that was the first time I actually realized what death was, and what it actually meant. To say 1,000 people died, 2,000 people died, like, that means like families are destroyed. That means a mother has to go and bury her own daughter.
Actually a bit desensitized, kind of like seeing it as it's happening way over there on the other side of the world, and yes, it's a tragedy, but since there was no imminent threat to me or anyone that I knew or anything that I could possibly conceive, it was kind of just like another tragedy, another earthquake somewhere else, another tornado somewhere else. It wasn't like 9/11 where this was right next to me. It was more like tragedy, different country, we need to help out, but there's no threat. So, there's nothing for me to really worry about. It's just kind of like I need to watch this.
When I first saw the news of the tsunami, I was very shocked, and my heart really goes out to them I felt that it was terrible to have lost their homes and then their families, their loved ones, just like that, you know. So I felt that I really need to do something to help them.